it so it goes that way, because I'm going to scoot back.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm actually trying to do. That's good. Yeah, because you're here and I'll be there.
Okay.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you. If you've been with us before, you can probably tell I'm in a place different from where I normally am. Let's put it that way. Normally, we are streaming through the clearwaterbaha'is.org site, but it's coming from my home. Well, this gentleman next to me, who has been sharing with us for the last few weeks, Mr. Darrell King, he has a studio. And so we are at the PRK Studios, Fort Ritchie King Studios.
Blue Rock.
Okay. Blue Rock Studios. So let's begin. Blessed is the spot and the house and the place and the city and the heart and the mountain and the refuge in the cave and the valley and the land and the sea and the island and the meadow where mention of God hath been made and is praised, glorified. Where mention of God hath been made and is praised, glorified. Good morning, everyone, again. So let's start. Darrell's making some adjustments here. We're going to start with a prayer. I have awakened in thy shelter, O my God. And it becometh him that seeketh that shelter to abide within the sanctuary of thy protection and the stronghold of thy defense. Illumine my inner being, O my Lord, with the splendors of the day spring of thy revelation. even as thou didst illumine my outer being with the morning light of thy favor. I will say that to me is that's one of the earliest Baha'i prayers that I heard. I heard it actually in the form of a song, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful, like so many of them. And I was talking to a friend of mine just a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the faith. She's not Baha'i, but a friend of the faith, and I was just telling her about how many of the prayers and other passages that are revealed by Baha'u'llah and also Abdu'l-Baha and the Bab are just so beautifully expressed, so beautifully worded, that there's music in the words themselves. Now today, we are going to be talking about fellowship. And well, we don't have to say that fellowship is pretty important, but maybe it doesn't need that much of an introduction. The word is kind of obvious. We're going to be talking about fellowship. So, from Abdu'l-Baha, how glorious the spectacle of real unity among mankind. There's that word again, unity. How glorious the spectacle of real unity among mankind. How conducive to peace, confidence, and happiness if races and nations were united in fellowship and accord. Were sent into the world upon this mission of unity and agreement. I'll say that again. The prophets of God were sent into the world upon this mission of unity and agreement, that these long separated sheep might flock together. When the sheep separate, they are exposed to danger. But in a flock, and under protection of the shepherd, they are safe from the attack of all ferocious enemies. I don't know if you recall, but last week I read a verse that where Baha'u'llah says that man is in need of a shepherd. And this explains why. When the sheep separate, they are exposed to danger, but in a flock and under the protection of the shepherd, they are safe from the attack of all ferocious enemies. In the world of minds and souls, which is an expression of composition, is conducive to life. Whereas discord, which is an expression of decomposition, is the equivalent of death. I'll repeat that. In the world of minds and souls, fellowship, which is an expression of composition, is conducive to life. Whereas discord, which is an expression of decomposition, is the equivalent of death. Without cohesion among the individual elements which compose the body politic, meaning humanity, disintegration and decay must inevitably follow and life be extinguished. Christ was killed by his enemies. He did not kill. He even loved and prayed for those who hung him on the cross. Therefore, these wars and cruelties, this bloodshed and sorrow are anti-Christ, not Christ. These are the forces of death and Satan, not the hosts of the supreme concourse of heaven. No less bitter is the conflict between sects and denomination. I'm going to try and do a song now that echoes what Abdu'l-Baha was just saying, and it's called We Are One Family. Children of men, know ye not why we created you all from the same dust? That no one should exalt himself over the other. Ponder at all times in your hearts how ye were created. Since we have created you all from one same substance, it is incumbent on you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, and dwell in the same land. That from your inmost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. We are one family, one mankind, one humanity. Walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, dwell in the same land. That one indeed is a man who today dedicated himself to the service of the entire human race. The great being saith, blessed and happy is he that ariseth to promote the best interest of the peoples and kindreds of the earth. In another passage he hath proclaimed, it is not for him to pride himself who loveth his own country, but rather for him who loveth the whole world. The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens. We are one.
We are one
Family,
family,
one mankind,
one mankind,
humanity,
one humanity,
waves of one seed, fruit of the same tree, leaves of the same branch. If thou be of the inmates of this city, within the ocean of divine unity, thou wilt view all the prophets and messengers of God as one soul and one body, as one light and one spirit, in such wise that the first among them would be last, and the last would be first. For they have all arisen to proclaim his cause, and have established the laws of divine wisdom. They are one and all, the manifestations of his self, the repositories of his might, the treasuries of his revelation, the dawning places of his splendor, and the day springs of his light. We are one family, one mankind, one humanity, one God, God of all, one faith, faith in him, one race, all mankind. We are one.
we are one
Family,
family,
we are one.
we are one
Family,
family. We are one family.
We are one family. All of those verses, those spoken verses, are all from the writings of Baha'u'llah. And that song pretty much encapsulates the basic precepts of the Baha'i faith. And we believe that there is only one world faith, and that is simply faith in God. And that the Baha'i faith is simply the latest dispensation or the latest revelation from God through his messengers. And so obviously the song talks about why we were all created from the same dust, that we are supposed to be unified, and that we are supposed to all be working for the good of humanity. We are to dedicate ourselves to the service of the entire.
Take a nap now, okay?
And
Good.
we also are to see all the prophets and messengers of God as coming from the same origin, the same source. Let's continue. The great mass of humanity does not exercise love, real love and fellowship. The great mass of humanity does not exercise real love and fellowship. The elect of humanity are those who live together in love and unity. The elect of humanity are those who live together in love and unity. I want to put that on a bumper sticker. They are preferable before God because the divine attributes are already manifest in them. The supreme love and unity is witnessed in the divine manifestations. Among them, unity is indissoluble, changeless, eternal, and everlasting. Each one is expressive and representative of all. If we deny one of the manifestations of God, we deny all. Nations are devoted to conquest and bloodshed, filled with the animus of religious hatred, seeking the good pleasure of God by killing and destroying those whom in their blindness they consider enemies. How ignorant they are. That which is forbidden by God, they consider acceptable to him. God is love. God seeketh fellowship, purity, sanctity, and long-suffering. These are the attributes of divinity. Therefore, these warring, raging nations have arisen against divinity, imagining they are serving God. What gross ignorance this is. Consider how all the prophets of God were persecuted and what hardships they experienced. Jesus Christ endured affliction and accepted martyrdom upon the cross in order to summon mankind to unity and love. What sacrifice would be greater? He brought the religion of love and fellowship into the world. Shall we make use of it to create discord, violence, and hatred among mankind? I think it's time we have some prayers. If there is anyone who would like to offer up a personal prayer, please, this is that time.
Yes, Gila is saying prayer.
And for those of you who are with us through the Facebook Live feed, you won't be able to see it because that's coming through Zoom, but hopefully you'll hear these beautiful prayers that are being shared.
من بخونم؟
بله ژیلا خانم بخونید.
هوالله ای عاشق روی بهار توجه به ملکوت غیب جبروت کن و بگو ای هادی ابرار ای واقف اسرار ای مونس اغیار جانم به فدایت ای دلبر دلجو ای سرور خوشخو ای گل رخ مهرو جانم به فدایت هاجر تو بدانی هرچند نهانی هاجر تو بدانی هرچند نهانی در هر دم و آنی جانم به فدایت جانم به فدایت در هر دم و آنی جانم به فدایت جانم به فدایت عبدالبها عباس.
Keep going, Derek. God, my God, praise be unto thee for kindling the fire of divine love in the holy tree on the summit of the loftiest mount, that tree which is neither of the east nor of the west, that fire which blazed out till the flame of it soared upward to the concourse on high, and from it those realities caught the light of guidance and cried out, verily have we perceived a fire on the slope of Mount Sinai. O God, my God, increase thou this fire as day followeth day, till the blast of it setteth in motion all the earth. O thou, my Lord, kindle the light of thy love in every heart. Breathe into men's souls the spirit of thy knowledge. Gladden their breasts with the verses of thy oneness. Call thou to life those who dwell in their tombs. Warn thou the prideful. Make happiness worldwide Send down thy crystal waters, and in the assemblage of manifest splendors, pass round that cup which is tempered at the camphor fountain. Verily thou art the giving, the forgiving, the ever bestowing. Verily thou art the merciful, the compassionate. This is a prayer by Abdul Baha. Carol, would you like to read? Sure. Okay. Give them a break from me.
Consider how the prophets of God were persecuted and what hardships they experienced. Jesus Christ endured affliction and accepted martyrdom upon the cross in order to summon mankind to unity and love. What sacrifice could be greater? He brought the religion of love and fellowship into the world. Shall we make use of it to create discord, violence, and hatred among mankind? Moses was persecuted and driven out into the desert. Abraham was banished. Muhammad took refuge in caves. The Bab was killed, and Baha'u'llah was exiled and imprisoned 40 years. Yet all of them desired fellowship and love among men. They endured hardships, suffered persecution and death for our sakes, that we might be taught to love one another and be united and affiliated instead of discordant and at variance. That's from Abdul Baha, the promulgation of universal peace.
I think it's time to sing All We Want Is Peace.
Go for it.
Sun is rising on a new day, shedding light across the land. The Father's showing us the right way to take His love to all of man. But some keep fighting, some keep killing, shedding blood around the world. But keep believing, keep on praying, soon God's kingdom will be unfurled. 'Cause all we want is peace high on every mountain. All we want is peace down in every valley. All we want is peace flowing like a river that never cease. All we want is peace. Hear the sounds of children crying. Hear the mothers and the fathers weep. See them bury their sons and daughters. See their pain that goes so deep. How we ever come to this place? We all know a better way. We can put a smile on God's face. Start a brand new day, 'cause all we want is peace high on every mountain. Peace down in every valley. Flowing like a river they never see. All we want is peace, red, yellow, brown, black and white. Mother, father, sister, brother, written for captive and free. All we want is peace for every Muslim, every Christian, every Jew, Zoroastrian, for every Buddhist, Baha'i, and Hindu, every child of God. There's a way we can live as one. Take every rocket, every rifle, every weapon, and melt them down, and build the pouches to feed the hungry, till no more hunger can be found. 'Cause all we want is peace high on every mountain, peace down in every valley, flowing like a river they'd never see. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace.
Peace.
All we want is peace. I like to think it's not a tall order, but apparently it is. Let's continue and speak our
Hey, you guys.
Yes.
This is Jim Barnes. Would you mind sending me that the devotions today if you have them written down somewhere?
Could you say that again, please?
Could you please send me the devotions that you have for today?
I'm sure we can find a way to make it happen.
Okay.
I don't know how. Well, I'll tell you
Okay.
what. Get it through our Facebook, my Facebook Live.
Okay. Thank you very much. And that last song, do you have that recorded?
Yes,
Would you
Yes.
mind sending me that for the radio station?
I can certainly do that, Jim.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. And now to continue. If we abandon hearsay, I'll say that again. If we abandon hearsay and investigate the reality and inner significance of the heavenly teachings, we will find the same divine foundation of love for humanity. The purport is that religion is intended to be the cause of unity, love, and fellowship, and not discord, enmity, and estrangement. Furthermore, these souls who have followed Baha'u'llah and attained this condition of fellowship and affiliation are Muslims, Jews, Christians, Zoroastrians, Buddhists, Nestorians, Sunnites, Shiites, and others. No discord exists among them. This is a proof of the possibility of unification among the religionists of the world through practical means. Imitations and prejudices which have held men apart have been discarded, and the reality of religion envelops them in a perfect unity. When reality envelops the soul of man, love is possible. The proof is clear that in all degrees and kingdoms, unity and agreement, love and fellowship are the cause of life, whereas dissension, animosity, and separation are ever conducive to death. I'm going to read that again. The proof is clear that in all degrees and kingdoms, unity and agreement, love and fellowship are the cause of life, whereas dissension, animosity, and separation are ever conducive to death. Therefore, we must strive with life and soul in order that day by day, unity and agreement may be increased among mankind, and that love and affinity may become more resplendently glorious and manifest. Again, from the writings of Abdul Baha. I again want to say that if you are, maybe you clicked on the Clearwater Baha'is.org for the first time, or maybe this is your first time hearing our devotions. We're here every Sunday. We start at 10 o'clock or somewhere thereabouts, but yeah, right around 10 o'clock. And you can get it through clearwaterbaha'is.org. You can also get it through my Facebook Live, which is Anthony Ballard on Facebook. And we're here every Sunday at 10 o'clock. And also, if you would like to know more about the Baha'i faith, you may even have Baha'is right in your own neighborhood. But if you'd like to start, getting a little, I don't want to say a gist, but finding out more about the faith through the study of the Baha'i writings, you can go to Baha'is.us, Baha'i.us, that's BAHAI.us, or Baha'i.org, BAHAI.org. And there are other websites, but those are two that are, they're I want to say they're worldwide, but so is the internet. Okay. But they are authoritative websites coming from the governing body of the Baha'i faith. So, on time. Okay, it's almost 11:40. I mean 10:40. Do you have a request, Daryl? Anything you wanted?
No, go ahead.
Huh. I was hoping you said. Okay. Did we ever do God-made music? I know we did it, but did we do it for?
Not recently.
Okay, you think?
I think we can do that.
This next song is called God Made Music, and I'm going to read a verse from Baha'u'llah, where he even talks about the reason that we have music. He says, number one, I want to point out that also in the writings, there are a lot of passages that talk about how we really do need you to use the arts for worship and for fellowship. And of course, that's, it's, I'm sure we can say it's common, you'd be hard pressed to find religious ceremonies where people aren't using music. But of course, there are other forms of art that can also be used: music, dance, visual arts, and so forth. But this is a verse that is based on what Baha'u'llah said about music. He said, "We verily have made music as a ladder for your souls, the means whereby they may be lifted up unto the realm on high. Make it not therefore as wings to self and passion." I gotta find the right chord first. God made music to be a ladder. God made music to be a ladder. God made music. God made music. God made music to be a ladder for your soul. His grace inspires a melody. His peace is harmony. His rhythm lifts humanity. His love makes life a symphony. God made music. God made music. God made music to be alive for your soul, so let your soul find, let your soul find, let it find, let your soul find to the realm on high. Oh, it's you when you're lonely. It soothes the spirit's pain. It strengthens in the hard times till the good times come again. God made music. God made music. God made music to be alive for your soul. Alive for your soul. Alive for your soul. He made music, music to be alive for your soul. Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you,
I
Tom.
always love what you do on that. Again, we'd like to thank all of you for sharing with us today. We're going to have a final prayer, and maybe we'll close out with a short song. But again, it's always so wonderful to be able to come and join all of you, and for you all to take the time to join us. And again, you can see that we're in a different place for those of you who might have come on after we started. Daryl he is a professional musician. Okay, let's go ahead and put that out there. You can do a quick little bio on Daryl. Daryl actually has his own band. He has a jazz band. It's called Standing 8 Count for anyone that might want to find it. And this is his studio. And he's been so kind as to allow us to get a glimpse of where all the magic happens. Let's say this prayer. O Lord, enable all the peoples of the earth to gain admittance into the paradise of thy faith, so that no created being may remain beyond the bounds of thy good pleasure. From time immemorial, thou hast been potent to do what pleaseth thee, and transcendent above whatsoever thou desirest. That is a prayer from the Bob. And for anyone who wonders where these prayers are coming from, once again, this is a Baha'i prayer book. You'll see it very commonly used by Baha'is. And are we required to say those prayers? Not really. There are some prayers that we are supposed to say every day, but this is just a collection of prayers that were revealed by Baha'u'llah, by the Bab, and by Abdu'l-Baha. Now, you've heard me talk about Baha'u'llah, of course, and Abdu'l-Baha, the son of Baha'u'llah. But then there is the Bab, and the Bab actually was the herald, the forerunner of Baha'u'llah. He actually came to prepare the way for Baha'u'llah's revelation. You can think of the Bab sort of, not exactly, but sort of the way Christians think of John the Baptist to Jesus Christ. How are we doing on time? Okay, well, it's 1:45. So folks, again, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. And no matter what you do, no matter where you go, let's try and love each other and love everyone out there. And just know that, you know, we can never have too much love. That's the answer to all of the world's issues. Unto thee have I raised my hands, O Lord, and in thee have I found sheltering support, O Lord. And unto thee have I resigned myself, O Lord, and upon thee have I placed my whole reliance, O Lord. Unto thee have I raised my hands, O Lord, and in thee have I found sheltering support, O Lord. And unto thee have I resigned myself, O Lord, and upon thee have I placed my whole reliance, O Lord. And by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. By thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. By thee am I strengthened, O Lord. By thee am I strengthened, O Lord. You all have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good week. Stay safe. Please stay safe. And we look forward to seeing you back here about 10 o'clock next week. We don't know if we'll be here or back at the regular place, but we'll certainly try and reach out to you.